JJ, so give us a just quick little short synopsis on what you see out of your D-line. Anything different than the spring? You got a couple new guys, but most of your people are back from the spring.
A couple new things. Well, more consistency, better leadership, and I see a whole lot more competition. Guys are really getting after each other, pushing each other. I'm doing a lot less coaching of hustle and little things. I got some older guys taking care of that stuff for me.
Give us, your thoughts on especially Dante and, how he's looked so far.
He's looked really good. He's doing the little things right, and he's not trying to make the big play. He's just playing good football, good technique, leading by example. It's been good to see.
Elijah, same thing.
Excuse me?
Elijah, same thing with defensive ends. What do you see there?
Yeah, the same thing. I mean, Taj has been – he's the older guy in the room. He's, going into his 6 years. So, again, he kind of knows what I'm looking for. He knows the expectation. He's been through training camp. So he's doing a good job of getting those guys to be on his level.
How's that going at your second or your third level? Neil was talking about trying to build to 3D
Mm-hmm.
in different spots. How's the competition been there?
It's going good. It's keeping me up at night because I got to figure out how to get all these guys in the game. So, again, hopefully it's like hockey subs where you see 3 and 4 guys rolling in at a time.
Do you have an idea of how many snaps you'd like to see from like a second line, a third line, what you'd like to not necessarily limit, but have your first line have to do in a game?
I'd like, out of 100 plays, I'd like those guys to get 60, next group of guys to get 20, next group of guys to get the other 20. So again, I'm trying to make sure that in crunch time, those guys are still fresh.
And is the balance there, like how close maybe the second and third team guys are to the first guys in terms of performance and ability?
Yeah. I've been losing sleep over it. I mean, it's been a tough. If I had to put a lineup out there, it'd be tough to pick right now.
For Dante to be what he wants to be, what does he have to do?
Relax and play football. Don't worry about trying to make plays. Don't worry about the next level with the scouts. Don't worry about the records he's on the brink of breaking. Just go out there and play good, clean football, and it all will happen.
I understand it. He took care of things in spring and summer that he didn't really do that much of last year. Do you notice the difference of him on the field?
Absolutely. He's a lot more relaxed. He's being patient. He's able to control his emotions better. He's very mature. He's being a great example. He's pointing things out to myself and the other coaching staff. He's been a pleasant change of direction.
More individuals, Jordan. What do you see out of him? How has he come along? Jefferson?
He's coming along great. He's really strong, as you guys know, and he's becoming a complete player. So he's providing some stuff in the pass rush game. We know he's a good run stopper and he's good in the middle, but he's doing some different things in different positions and he's providing some pass rush.
A couple of harder practices yesterday and today. What do you think you got out of it?
Well, we all know that you can't play it up front. You're going to be beat up. You're going to be tired. It's good to see those guys play when they're not fresh because, after that first series, you're in it. Yeah. So it's good to see those guys play a little bit tired, a little bit step slow, having to fight through some things. It's good to see him play with good technique and good intensity through those things.
Did you see that today?
I did see that today.
Lockhart, what you thought he would be?
He is. He's an athletic kid. He's big. He knows the game really well. He's going to provide some depth for us for sure.
Pure nose, or could he play D tackle? What can he be?
He's a little bit of a dancing bear. I wouldn't just pin him as a nose just because what the scale says. But we'll see. We'll see what we'll see how he comes along further through camp.
How do you feel about your size up front? I mean, it seems like you've got a lot of guys like Lockhart, Hammond Russell, Dante.
Yeah, I mean, I hit the treadmill pretty good this summer, so I'm shrinking down to be the smallest guy in the room. But now it's good having guys that I can't see around or see over, so I do feel better and more protected if I go out in public.
Neil was complimentary of Asani Redwood the other day. So young guy, but it looks like he has potential.
Yeah, he's going to be a good one here in the blue and gold. For a young guy, he's got a good presence about him. He's very mature, and for a guy that had been a soccer player for partway through his high school athletics career, he knows a lot of football.
Somebody messaged me. he gained 90 pounds or whatever it was, some ridiculous number in a short amount of time. Is he carrying the weight well?
He's carrying it well. He's carrying it well. I wish I could do the same. He's, I mean, he's
Whatever
290
he is.
plus now.
What is he, like 280?
He's almost tipping 290 now, and he looks good. And he's got really great feet. He's a physical specimen.
I was to say for 290, he probably moves like a guy who's much smaller than that, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He's got great feet. He's got great agility. He's quick. He's fast.
Have you ever had anything like that in your career where you had a guy get that big that fast? And
No, not that I can recall. Not that I can recall.
Hey, Jay, what was last season like with Ed, and then just being through it once and getting to repeat it again? How much of a difference do you see now?
With Eddie V? Eddie V is more confident in asking questions. He's picked up on some of the football jargon. As you know, English being the second language, and there's a lot of verbiage in football now. I think he's understanding the game a lot better. He's playing a lot faster, having to think a lot less trying to diagnose what the signal was from the sideline, what the verbiage was. He's able to put it all together and play a little faster now.
Physically, it's all there for him too, right? Does it take a guy like that a long time to figure out that if he just trusts the tools? Because I just wonder how much he knows about the sport. You know, if he's trying to figure out what you're saying as opposed to what to do. But like, did he undersell his physical gifts a little bit?
No, I don't think he undersold himself because he's a very confident kid and he's a very mature kid. I just think that he just needs to relax and kind of go what's natural to him. But again, I think it was more of a language barrier and a jargon barrier than it was anything physical.
As a coach, do you have to teach yourself to coach a guy like that differently? You're talking about Redwood, that's a learning curve, right? Eddie's probably a little bit different too. Do you have to handle guys differently when they have just such diverse backgrounds like that?
Absolutely. I mean, some guys are walk-through guys. Some guys are draw on the board guys. Some guys are watch it on tape. Some guys have to see my older guys go through drills, which is good about having Dante and Taj around. They're really good in the drill work and they play with good technique. So got to cover all your bases from a learning style standpoint, especially having a room with as many guys as I have in general anyway.
So to be clear, your sleepless nights are over 4, 5, and 6, 7, and 8, not 1, 2, and 3, right?
That's a Neil Brown question, but sort of.
Yeah. The backups. That's
Yeah.
trying to work those guys in.
For sure.
Say if you were sleepless over 1, 2, 3, that would be.
I'd be sleeping in the building.
So how many do you think you have that can play? On
9.
Saturdays?
9. Yep. 9 to 10.
That sounds like a lot deeper than last year, is it?
It is. It is, and it's a testament to the way these guys have been working. Not afraid to be coached. I think that's the biggest thing, and being able to relax under pressure so far.
I know you've been trying to add strength and a little bit of weight to your guys. What's the real difference between a guy playing at 270 versus 290? What does that give them?
I think it's the endurance standpoint. I think in the first half and early in drives, those underweight guys are really good. And then when offensive linemen start leaning on them down the stretch, late in drives, I think that's where it shows up. And obviously down the goal line.
You talk about teaching guys differently. Some guys need to do this, that, the other thing. Do you have time to do that? To get through individually to each person?
Absolutely. It starts off in walkthroughs and meetings, and you touch on them all different ways from before you get on the practice field and all the way through the practice. So some guys it might click for in the meeting, some will click for in walkthrough, some guys it might click for after the first team period. But you're touching them all different ways they need to be focused on. So.
What's the most common thread between all the guys? I mean, some guys obviously are good pass rushers, some guys are strong. What's the most common thread that you have to meet up?
My group is super competitive. From whether we're having a spelling bee in my meeting room or doing quiz bowl or where we're running races, I mean, nobody likes to lose.
You have spelling bees?
Oh yeah, we play Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader all the time.
I see all those counties up in New York. You just have them spell those counties.
No
Those
doubt.
names up there.
No doubt. I struggle too.
AJ, two more individuals, Sean Martin and Zyke Lawton. Where are they?
They're doing really well. I mean, Sean has taken off. He's really confident. I think he understands how big he is and how strong he is. And Zyke's been a good change of pace. He's a quick, athletic guy, but he's also brought another guy that could talk about West Virginia, the state, West Virginia, what the fan base means to this program. He's a kid that's grown up and heard about the Pitt rivalry. So again, it's another way to connect my guys back to the state, which has been great.
Sean, he was a DN last year. Still there, or is he playing more D tackle now, or what's he doing?
He's gonna play everywhere. I mean, he's 6'6", 290 plus now. I could put him anywhere we need to blow, really. You know, depending on the matchups or depending on the game week or where we're at with injuries, Sean can play all over the place.
Kind of your Swiss Army knife?
Yes.
How many of those you got?
I would say 3 to 4.
Who are the other ones?
Dante Stills can do anything. Sean Martin could do anything. Zyke Lawton could do a lot of different things. Asani Redwood can do a lot of different things.
Jalen Thornton, is he one?
Jalen Thornton's one, for sure.
Where is he now in terms of his development?
He's super confident, most confident I've ever seen him. And he's able to come back off a mistake or a bad play better than he's able to do. And I think that's he knows when we have conversations, that's what's been holding him back.
I think if you look at your roster, you probably have, I don't know, 6, 7 guys who played a lot. You probably feel really good. People understand. What's the difference for you from getting from that 6, 7 to 9, 10? Like, what do you have to do? Who do you have to make that number realistic?
I mean, there's a multitude of guys. Really, it's more so mixing them in with each other. So whether it's whether it's Dante and JJ and Asani or Jalen, Sean, and whoever, being able to mix them in at different times. So it doesn't have to be this line, this line, this line, but all of them playing together would be a beautiful thing.
Between now and then, though, would you actually drop a rotation plan 60, 20, 20? Are there certain, like, I don't know, do you have landmarks that guys have to get by a certain time? He has to be able to do this, or he has to be at this level with this guy.
Yeah, I mean, as we get in the game plan week and stuff like that, we can figure that out. But right now through camp, I just want to see him play the best football possible.
Anything else for Coach? Thank you, sir.
All right, guys, thank you.